Hey guys, Bill here. Street Fighter 6 is less than 2 weeks away. And if you are a fan of the lore of Street Fighter and you want to know what exactly is happening with the story of Street Fighter 6, why is Ken looking the way he does? Well, you have to check the Street Fighter 6 comic by Udon. Now, you might tell me, alright, well, isn't this the same comic that is being published right now on the official Street Fighter 6 website? And the answer is yes. However, that version that we are getting on the Street Fighter 6 official website is black and white, and there's a colored version coming out starting this week. So I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the story and the differences and what difference the color makes, which is a lot. But before I do that, a gentle reminder to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I drop a new video. Udon Comics have done the impossible 20 years ago when they started this Street Fighter comic series. Again, I can't believe it has been 20 years already. I was there. I remember the first time I saw the preview on I think it was Comic Book Resources was the website where I saw the first few pages from Street Fighter 0, and I'm like, wow, man, I can't wait to see this probably limited series. Well, 20 years later, it's still going strong and it still is coherent and a lot of fun to read. So Udon has teamed up with Capcom to make the Street Fighter 6 comic. This is the first time the comic is both part of the comics continuity and the game continuity. So it's the first time Udon is making a canon story about Street Fighter 6. And it was supposed to be releasing about a couple weeks ago, the first chapter, but then it was actually postponed to this week. But before that, they actually released Street Fighter 6-0, which is a free comic book day title that's already available, and it gives you an idea about how Udon is actually tackling the Street Fighter 6 characters. Now, the Street Fighter 6 comic, the main series that is on the official Street Fighter website, and again will be published today by Udon in color, focuses on Ken Masters and gives us an idea what's happening with him. We get to understand a little bit about Nashal, the new this new country that is plays a big part in Street Fighter 6 game story, as well as the World Tour. You're actually going to travel to Nashal. In the World Tour, there's a stage in Street Fighter 6 that is actually set in Nashal. So this is actually a big part of the game story, and we understand what this new established country, if you will, what its part and how JP is involved. We get to know JP's full name. That's just an acronym, but we get to know his full name, and we start to see a little bit his role in the Street Fighter 6 story, as well as Ken's. This is a Ken focused story, so you can see, and Luke, obviously, Mel, his son, is also part of the story. So far we didn't see Ryu. Chun-Li is there. Some other characters will show up eventually. But yeah, it's a Ken-focused story, and it seems Street Fighter 6 is focusing on both Ken and Luke at the same time. They both play a big role in the story. It doesn't mean that the other characters don't have a story or a place to play in the overall narrative of Street Fighter 6. But the chapters are written by Capcom and Udon, and drawn by several artists. The first issue is actually drawn by Bengus, which is awesome. So as I said, as you can see here, the actual the one on Udon, the one on Capcom's official website, is black and white. But if I got to read the first one in color, and it makes a huge difference because the coloring is very dynamic. It looks really great. So it's really awesome, and it actually makes sense. So if you're not really into the comics and you just want to know what the story quickly, you can just go and read the one on the website. But if you really want to enjoy it and you really want to see the art and all its beauty, or you want to collect it, then you have to go with the Udon version, which is in color again, starting this week. It's looking great. It's fantastic. It's really well written. It's really deep. There's a lot of depth. Something we don't see much from the main stories of Street Fighter games. I mean, Street Fighter comics is a different thing because they do add a lot of depth and story. But it's kind of good to see that Capcom is deciding to add a lot of depth to these characters, and it seems like it's a very serious story. Again, made to look really great with the art and the color. It's a 4 issues miniseries. And as I said, the first one will ship this week, and every week there'll be a new chapter until The 4 chapters are finished, and as I said, the story focuses a lot on Ken and Luke, but the Street Fighter 6 number 0 was actually focusing on Juri and Kimberly. So it was really great to see that Udon will hopefully actually make more stories around the Street Fighter 6 game, so we can see more characters, because as I said, it seems the story is only focusing on Ken and Luke. JP obviously, who seems to be going to be the big bad of Street Fighter 6 from what we can tell so far. But yeah, Street Fighter 6 is available, will be available this week. You can read the black and white version if you want to know what the story is about, but if you really want to enjoy it, as I said, the full colored paper issues are going to start shipping this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.